Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today on our second session of Cracking the Code, which launched last year with our partners uAfrica. And the reason is to give people an opportunity to get together and learn the ins and outs of e-commerce through an easy and a consumable discussions with thought leaders in the industry. Now, I also know that this might be a lot of information and you may want to rehash some of their answers, but don't worry, there will be a recording made available afterwards that you can refer back to at any time. While we're chatting tonight, please make use of the chat functions located on your right-hand side of your screen, and you can send through any comments you may have. And at the bottom of your screen, you will also find a questions tab, which we'll be using for a live Q&A at the end of the webinar. Joining me on stage today is Danika from uAfrica, who will tell us a little bit more about our speakers of today.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see some of you here. I know it's not everybody that we were expecting, but the beginning of the year is a crazy time, so it's always good to see the people that are here. I'm super excited to introduce to you the guys from Parcel. They are the coolest kids on the block. We've worked with them for just over a year now, and they really do have the most amazing story of how they got started, of how they used COVID for something really positive. So I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves a little bit more, but let's welcome them to the stage. Yes. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Right,
Let's
get started. Let us start maybe with a quick, who are you? And a quick intro into who you are. So maybe Alex, you can start with it.
Yeah. My name's Alex. I'm from Parcel, and I run the sales division and new customer intake at Parcel. And
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. And I'm Cyle. I'm the co-owner and co-founder at Parcel. I run the day-to-day operations and make sure the wheels are turning and parcels are leaving the door.
It's the most important part.
Okay, but I think before we start the questions that we also discussed, maybe between the two of you, you can explain to the people that don't know, what is Parcel?
Sure. I'll go. So yeah, Parcel is we're an e-commerce fulfillment center. We pick and pack orders for online stores, as well as companies or people selling on marketplaces throughout South Africa. So we help facilitate them.
we lost them there.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Technology.
we
Here we go.
lost you there. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys, technical issues here. Everyone can still hear me fine, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
All right, cool. So yeah, where was I? We're an e-commerce fulfillment center. We pick and pack orders for online stores and marketplace sellers throughout South Africa and around the world.
Epic. And I'm quickly going to ask a question because I know this is going through everyone's minds, but you guys ship to Takealot?
Yes, we do. Yeah. It's one of our main services, as well as e-commerce and that.
Epic. Yeah, because I know that's one of the first questions that we always get asked is you ship to Takealot. So it's definitely become a talking point and a competitive edge if you do in South Africa.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's dive right in. Okay, so you told us a little bit about what Parcel does. So maybe you can tell us a bit more. How did the idea of Parcel originate, and how did you actually get that whole process started?
Okay. Yeah, I'll answer that one. So yeah, we started Parcel. It was early 2019, I think just before COVID hit us. I was in the e-commerce business before and I saw a gap in the market, and I thought it was quite a good idea, and that's I reached out to my best mate Carl, and I said to him, come have a chat and have a beer with me tomorrow night and let's have a chat about something. So yeah, he joined me that evening. I told him about the idea and what I kind of had in mind and that, and he thought it's a good idea. I'm keen to do it. Let's do it in that. And yeah, that evening I jumped in front of my PC and I designed the website that night. that following morning, I gave him a shout and I said to him, yeah, man, the site's up when we're starting. So yeah, we didn't have a facility at that time. So it was a bit hard. And that's, Cyle knew a few oaks in that. So he reached out to a friend of his and he gave us a facility to try out the project, because at that time it was more a project to see if it was going to work. And in lieu of rental, we built a website for him in it. So for a year, we had rent-free basically at his facility to test out the project. And the day we moved in and we started launching those Google ads, we basically have had a lead every single day since then, and we haven't stopped. So it's been amazing. Yeah.
Just to show this was a massive gap.
Yeah. No, it's been an amazing adventure. It's been a rocky one though, but it's been an amazing time in it.
So just a question: you started this business just before COVID hit. Were you not nervous when COVID did hit that all this hard work that you just put into a brand new business is going to come tumbling down?
Yeah. To be honest, we didn't have a choice. Cyle had lost his job. I also had lost my means of income due to circumstances that happened in my life. So we were both in a spot where we weren't making any money. So we had no choice but to do something. So yeah, we started doing that. I had another business that I also started on the side. So did Cyle. I was designing websites and doing Google ads. Cyle was installing CCTV cameras, home automation, and all that type of stuff. And that's how we kind of started doing our side jobs and running Parcel.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a scary time.
So I was installing cameras and working in these massive houses, and answering the phone and saying, yes, we do deliveries, and we can definitely assist you, and putting the phone down and phoning Alex and saying, look, we need to contact this guy. And so it was very adventurous in the beginning, and quite an eye opener. But we the minute COVID hit, both of us thought, shit, what are we going to do now? And then the South African government decided, look, you're not allowed to ship anything. It can only be nappies and and essentials. So we didn't know what was going to happen or where it was going to lead to, and but it just literally rocketed from there. The minute the lift was, the ban was lifted, we just continued to grow from strength to strength. And as Alex mentioned, we literally haven't stopped getting leads since the day we launched our website. So it just shows that there's so much demand at the moment, and everyone, and also with COVID, everyone started side hustling, and starting things on the side and wanting to, make a different or separate stream of income. So I think that definitely did accelerate the growth in e-commerce in South Africa, which, thankfully we were at the forefront.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, we spoke about that in the previous event. We were actually talking about how lucky we are on e-commerce, that things kind of went our way. It could have gone in exactly the opposite direction. And here we are 2 years later, and we actually started a webinar series based on e-commerce over the past 2 years. It's an amazing time or amazing industry to be in at the moment.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's growing at a massive rate, and I think we're just a little bit behind the curve to the rest of the world in terms of what's happening in e-com. Like if you had to look at Europe and in America, e-com's second nature to them. I mean, they've been shopping online for years, so it's great to see what's happening in our country at the moment in terms of e-commerce.
Yeah, we're flourishing. We really are
and
flourishing.
the growth of new entrepreneurs that are starting new businesses and creative successes out of them, and we have a lot of those customers on board currently running with us, and they're running from their lounges, and they couldn't handle it anymore, and we've taken over, and now they're sitting at the coast relaxing, and we run their business for them.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That actually brings us to our next question is, you started this and COVID hits and all these new challenges came into play. what was your initial growth strategy when you started Parcel?
You know what? To be honest, ladies, we didn't have one. we thought, look, we're gonna just try and get customers, and when the customers come, we're gonna make it happen. You know, as Alex mentioned, when we started, we were actually in a house in a suburb in Benoni. You know,
trying to sell a warehouse thing.
Yeah, trying to sell a warehouse business. So, you know, we got some funny looks when guys came to see us, and you know, some big names, some big oil companies that wanted to, you know, I'm not going to throw names around, you know, and you know, some of the financial institutions came and knocked on our door, and we were like, look, we're in a house, we've literally just started our business, but please come and see us, you know. And a lot of them obviously said to us, okay, look, you're not the right fits. And some guys actually came and saw us, and thankfully, you know, gave us the opportunity. And today, they some of our biggest customers. You know, they've just grown from strength to strength. So, you know, we thought, let's focus on getting customers, and then figured everything else would just fall into place. And you know what? Thankfully, it has.
Yeah, that really is amazing. Like a lot to be grateful for, really.
Yeah.
So besides COVID, which we've now sort of covered a little, you know, briefly, what is the toughest part about e-commerce logistics in South Africa at the moment?
Look, the toughest part, I think, is, you know, as I alluded to earlier, a lot of people at the moment or out there have started these businesses as side hustles, you know, and they've grown it to a level where, you know, it's exploded out of their dining room or their garage, and they just can't cope anymore. So, I mean, a lot of the times we feel people are apprehensive in giving their baby to us. You know, it's something that they've built and they've worked on and grown, and it's hard to now give it all to someone and, you know, let them run with it. So yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges we've seen. It's just, you know, guys actually trusting in what we do and trusting us, you know. So yeah, that's my take. I don't know, maybe Al, if you got something to add to that.
Yeah, that's you basically touched on that. It's been the kind of to let customers let go of their baby. So that's most of my difficulties that I've had in my meetings with new customer intakes, and that is to actually give away their business to us, and for us to handle that, and for them to kind of like sit back and see that whole process happening, us packing the orders, delivering the orders. I had a customer that kept messaging me every 5 minutes just to make sure everything was happening in that. But yeah, she's been so happy ever since in that. And yeah, it's just for the customer just to kind of let go, and to because it's kind of a new industry in South Africa as well, fulfillment and that. Normally customers used to do it themselves. They got a warehouse, they got staff. You don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to go and hire staff. You don't need to go get your own warehouse. We do everything for you in that. You just need to give us the stock, link your website to our system, and there we go. We can start distributing your products.
Yeah. And tell me, did you find that it was more the small entrepreneurs that had this like detachment issue, or do you think it was more the bigger entrepreneurs?
No, definitely the smaller ones. The bigger ones, obviously, you know, they understand the workings and the logistics side of stuff, you know. So our bigger customers have been the easier ones to sign on. It's the moms and pop stores that have taken, you know, a little bit of convincing and, you know, to get them on board.
Believe it or not, we noticed exactly the same thing, especially starting this year, is the smaller guys scream the loudest. It's because I think we always forget now that e-commerce is so big, and, you know, we've all grown, like our companies have all grown, that the little guys or the littler companies, they rely on every single cent that they make, and it's understandable, but it's amazing to actually, you said that because we were talking about it literally last week, exactly that.
Yeah, that's true. Every single cent counts for them in that. So wherever we can save, and that's where we stand out. I guess we're flexible, so we can kind of assist customers to come onto a fulfillment center and try it out and see if it is for them and for their business.
That's great.
Yeah, and not be, you have to be doing 300 orders a month, to take on our services, or before we'll even take on
look at it,
you as a customer. Yeah.
Great. And what would you guys say sets you apart as Parcel is from all the others?
Okay, so I think what makes us stand out to our competitors is we are flexible, and we have a wide range of services such as warehousing, fulfillment, product preparation is something that we do. Product assembly, so we'll put products together. So we've got a customer that sells power cart units online, and those units come loose in that. So we'll get a battery, and we get the energizer. We have to put everything together for him and get it delivered to him. So that's something we do. We do kit building. We do marketplace ID management. So like your TechLots portal, we'll manage that portal for you. So if you're struggling to keep up to the lead times and to manage that account, we've got someone in-house that will manage your TechLot ID for you. That's something that we do as well that stands out. We also do e-commerce development, Google advertising, and social marketing as well. And that's also a service that we do in that. So we're kind of like a one-stop shop for e-commerce. So we don't just do fulfillment and warehousing. We'll assist you with the whole package in that if we can, and if that's what you want us to do.
Yeah, I like to use the word Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, Swiss Army knife, yeah. Not one-stop shop.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
so it's we're not just a knife. We have, there's a screwdriver, there's a tweezers, it's all in one little,
Okay.
So if you need something specific,
we're a multifunction.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool.
I like it. All right, well, Chris, I'm just going to swap around questions, because I remember chatting to Cyle about this when we were on the phone the other day, about the statistic from one of the business tech articles that 63% of all complaints for online orders are in regard to deliveries. So that's that I did not expect that. That is a really, really high number. So how do you guys approach this? How do you look at this statistic and kind of take it on and say, we can do better than this?
Well, to be honest, we've put our trust in a company, that handles our shipping, and they're on the call today, uAfrica. So they have to be honest, they've taken out the headache when it comes to the distribution and courier side in South Africa. Their support team is on the ball. They when you have an issue, it's solved within a matter of minutes. But what we try and do and be proactive at is to make sure that we're constantly communicating to our customers that there's issues here, or there's line haul delays down to Cape Town, and you should expect delays. So we're constantly communicating and monitoring our shipments to make sure that if there are any parcels that are in problem states, that we can address that before the customer actually phones our customer and says, listen, where's my parcel? And then our customer phones us. We're proactively watching and monitoring our shipments constantly.
Awesome. Well, I'm actually really glad you said that, because it's a focus of ours at the moment to kind of train the merchants that we do have on uAfrica at the moment to be more proactive. Because like you said, if you're a little bit more proactive in kind of seeing where the problem shipments are, it makes a massive difference. And communication is definitely something that's super important. So yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's just it comes down to communication.
Yeah.
communication is a very important factor within businesses. Incredibly.
Yes. Yeah.
And what advice would you give e-commerce merchants on seamless delivery process?
One advice I would give is just to work with your courier companies or your carriers. Find key people in those businesses that you can reach out to immediately and get them to follow up on stuff that you're unable to do, or but yeah, also just to like I mentioned before, just to be proactive and constantly just make sure that those parcels are headed to their right destination. Like, for example, we had an instance this week where we sent some stuff to Takealot Johannesburg, and we happened to see that it was sitting in the Pretoria depot. So it was a quick email like, listen guys, this is weird. How come this Takealot Johannesburg delivery is sitting in Pretoria? And the lady at the courier guy, shame Sandra, she's a star, and she immediately jumped on it, got back to us saying, okay, look, thank you, contacted Pretoria and said, guys, what's going on? Please move this. And before we knew it, it was delivered to Johannesburg. So yeah, it's just a matter of just keeping those lines of communication open and working with your carriers and not just fighting with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Sandra is such a sweetheart. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is very important to build those relationships, because once you have them, I mean, it's amazing. You give them a call and they actually want to help you because they know you and they know that you're being sincere, and definitely makes a difference.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So let's get to the advice side of things. So you guys have obviously done super, super well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Like, your story makes me want to scream it out to the world. Like, I just keep yelling at people going, you should be in this space. And these are one of the stories that I always like to tell people.
Thank you.
What was the toughest thing about starting Parcel? Personally, business-wise, financially, anything?
Okay, well, for us, I think the toughest thing, and that's when we started Parcel, it was the funding, because we were both unemployed, literally with a couple $100 in our pockets. That was the toughest part for us in that. But luckily, with our knowledge of what we learned, and that we were able to barter our way through and grow the business. So a lot of the stuff that we have in our warehouse, like our industrial shelving, we bartered for a website with one of our customers. He was moving warehouse. He wanted to use us, so he had to close the warehouse down. He didn't want the shelving anymore, so we did a trade. So a lot of the things we acquired and a lot of the partnerships and synergies we've gotten was through bartering or through helping out a customer to grow, and in return he helped us out in that. So yeah, it's been through synergies and partnerships that we've grown this business. It hasn't been an easy road. It's been really difficult. Myself and Cyle never pulled a salary for over 2 years. I think the January 2022 has been our first salary since we started this. It's been difficult, yeah.
I hope you treated yourself.
And yeah, it put us in a bit of difficult situations in that. But yeah, well, luckily we've managed to get ourselves out, and yeah, it's now road to success, and yeah, we've managed to get through it.
Yeah, I think we've been blessed to have the people that we do in our lives that have helped us and believed in us. So, yeah, it's been awesome.
Honestly, it's like the definition of like self-esteem. It's like the hustle is real. Love it.
Yeah.
And if you could change one thing that you would have done differently in the beginning, what would it be? And I would like you both to answer this one.
Sure. I mean, we could change. I don't know if there was anything we could change that I can think of.
Look, I wouldn't have changed it for anything. I think the way it grew and the way this business has grown is just, we've made it happen. As things have come up, we've had to like you say, hustle and make a plan, So we started a warehouse business in a house, and then when we looked again, we were in a small little warehouse, and then we had a customer walk in there and going, wow, guys, I really want to do business with you, but this place is too small. So can we maybe look at finding a bigger place? Maybe I can help you guys, with the deposits, and which he did, and we managed to secure a third facility. And when we looked again a month later, that was too small, So I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, even if we had started with 400 million rand in our accounts, I think the growth would have not been the same. This has just taught us how to hustle and to appreciate. You're right, and be grateful for where we are.
Yeah. Well, I'm also going to ask another question that is a little bit off book, but has your friendship changed? I mean, you said that he was your best friend. We got on the call. It can't be easy working with your best friend. So, how is it?
It comes with its challenges.
Yeah, it does come with its challenges. We have to call a beer session every now and then and say, listen, man, let's go have a beer. There's some stuff we need to chat about. And yeah, and it's and that's I guess that's the part of starting a business with your friend. It has its challenges. We're both two totally different people, and we have two totally different outlooks on life and how to do things. But I think we both have the same vision, and we both know where we've come from and where this business has come from and where it's going, and that we just need to, put our differences aside and work together, which is what we're doing.
Okay. That's amazing. And also another question is, what is your ultimate goal for Parcel? Do you want to stay national? Do you want to eventually go international? What is the end goal here?
We want to try to be the market leader for marketplace sellers and for e-commerce. That's where we kind of see ourselves in the whole of South Africa. We have quite a few international customers that sell in South Africa. We haven't looked at going international as yet in that. We've been very homegrown and wanting to be local and try to get the market going here and that, because there is a lot of fulfillment centers out all over the world, a lot of competition. But yeah, it's not something we haven't just said, no, we're not going to do. But yeah, our main focus is local and Africa as well. We're looking at Africa. We have made partnerships with some fulfillment centers in Africa. So we do have means of sending stock to Africa, places in Africa, and getting your stock fulfilled into like Kenya or Ghana and those type of countries.
And they're very big on e-commerce, especially also over the past couple of years. I mean, Andy was involved in, I think, a Kenyan company, and he told us just the other day, it's actually crazy how much e-commerce is growing there. I mean, even without the infrastructure and everything, it's massive. All right, so another advice that you need to give us. Sorry, Kyle.
No.
What would you guys say is the biggest factor to your success?
I think it's our can-do attitude, right? And our perseverance and being in the right place at the right time. Having said that, when we started Parcel, we had no idea that COVID was just around the corner. So it's not like we thought, hey, here's a global pandemic, let's start a fulfillment center. We started this business, and next minute we knew, COVID's here, everyone's gone online. So, I think our biggest factor, as I said, is our can-do attitude. And then also having people and family and friends that actually believed in us, and supported us. Big shout out to Peter Carr, who, saw the potential in us in the beginning. And he said to us, guys, we can't you can't be a warehouse business in a house, so he helped us get into our first little spots, and paid our rent for 6 months, and so I think I think our biggest factor is just being in the right place at the right time, and having the people and family and friends that we have in our corner that have helped us grow and get to where we are.
That's amazing. It's amazing. It definitely takes a village of people for things to run smoothly and to succeed in not only owning a company or being an entrepreneur, but I think everything in life, you need a village. You need a village of people.
Well, we also couldn't have done it with all the staff that we've had on board as well since we've started. Every single part or every single person that's been here has played a big role in the growth of our company as well, and that's something that we take a lot of pride in and look to, and it's something very, very special.
Yeah, and a lot of them, and actually, if not all of them, lost their incomes to COVID. And they've just been with us from day one, and they've grown themselves, and they've shown us that they see the vision in our company. So that I think hats off to them. I think some of them are on the call tonight.
Amazing.
Well, that sounds like a pretty damn winning formula there, to have people that so buy into your business. It's amazing. No wonder you guys have grown so much. Like, team makes everything.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then last question before we go to our Q&A section is, what would you say is the real value of Deliveries?
Dun, dun, dun. Big question.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I'm just checking. I think the real value is just to go the extra mile. If you're sending or selling something to someone, don't just get that PayFast payments and ship it. But make sure and that's it. And you never speak or hear of that customer or to that customer again. Go the extra mile. Make sure your products are packaged correct, properly and beautifully. Put in a little handwritten notes. I know it's cliche and yuppie chef, but I mean, that's actually what people admire from buying from someone online. And while it's en route to the customer, let them know, give them some feedback. I mean, that's why using a company like uAfrica is, because there's constantly updates to the customer. They know when it's left to the Durban depot and it's en route and it's out for delivery. And then after it's delivered, follow up with them and say, look, how was your experience? Was it delivered in a timely fashion? Was the box crumpled up, or was the driver friendly? Because I promise you now, that person's going to remember, and they're gonna buy from you again, and it's not just going to be a once-off purchase.
Customer service is very, very important.
Very important,
yeah. But it is, like you said, those handwritten notes, as cliche as you think it may be, makes a massive difference, because you remember those companies and you go, I'd 100% order from them again, because you know that if you would tell them, my sizing is wrong, they'd help you out, and that's what you want.
No, definitely. And I think that's, I don't want to go and name drop, but I think that's something that Yuppie Chef did very well in the beginning, and they've, look at them now. They started in a dining room in Cape Town. And now they're one of the biggest online retailers in South Africa, and to this day they follow the same customer centric approach. It's just customer centric, and that's kind of like what we want to focus on as well, is just to make sure that our customers are always happy. They might not always be right, but they need to be happy. So
yeah. Okay, cool. That is awesome. I love you guys' story. It's it's always so inspiring to hear, and it's I think the third or fourth time that I've heard it, and I'm still sitting here going like with these fat eyes and cry, because it just reminds me of why I love living in this country, because it's people hustling and pushing and just making things happen, even if life's not always that easy. Yeah, but I see we've got a couple of questions coming in, which I love. So I think let's kick it off. So the first question is, aside from product assembly, what is an example of product preparation that you do?
Okay, you want me to grab that, Al?
Yeah, you can grab that one. Let's go.
So besides from product assembly, an example of product preparation. So let me use Takealot for an example, right? If you want to sell on Takealot, there's certain requirements that need to be adhered to when sending your products to them. So the OEM barcodes, for example, need to be covered, and it needs to have your specific seller ID barcode on, right? So that's when it comes to product preparation, that's something that we offer. We'll make sure if there's 5 barcodes on that product, all 5 of those barcodes are covered, and only the Takealot barcode is on. And if it's a fragile product, it needs to pass a 1 meter drop test. So we'll bubble wrap it and put it in a bag for them. So that's just one of the examples.
That's awesome, because that's a really important part of shipping these days. Is making sure that the packaging is like almost so perfect that nothing can happen to it. So it's really good to know that you guys also do that. And you said, sorry, I'm going off topic here, but you mentioned eco-friendly packaging as well.
Yeah, so we do that. We're trying to single or get away from single-use plastics. I know it's very hard
for our industry.
Yeah, it's very hard for our industry and in logistics to get away from single-use plastic, but we steer away from bubble wrap. We make use of a product called Giami, which is a recycled recycled paper that is almost like bubble wrap. So yeah, all our parcels and products are wrapped in Giami. It's not an extra service that we offer. It's a standard service that we offer.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's very elegant. It's got white tissue paper on the inside, so when the customer opens that package, it's very elegant and appealing. It's not just a box with a whole bunch of plastic or shredded paper or the styrofoam in the box, and you open it, it all pops everywhere, and it's very elegant looking. So when you're opening up that parcel, it looks like you're getting a gift from someone. Even that you went and bought it really opening up a gift. So it's really, really appealing.
That's great. So there's nothing more annoying than opening a box and you've got a mess. Now you've got to clean up the mess from opening a box.
Yeah, or you've got like 20 meters of bubble wrap that you can't stop popping until
It always makes me feel better with the amount of shopping that I do if it comes in like eco-friendly packaging, because at least then I feel a little bit better about myself.
Yeah.
And
so you've lowered your carbon footprint, Dan?
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. One of the other questions is, do you guys offer a service guarantee?
I don't know. Do we? No. No, we don't.
In terms of a service guarantee, so what if something doesn't happen? Elaborate a bit about the question.
I think so. They haven't put any other information here, but what I would suspect is if something goes wrong with the packaging.
Okay, yeah. So just to give you an idea, so if something goes wrong and we, for example, by mistake, everything's barcode verified, so there shouldn't be a mispick of an item, but sometimes it does happen in that. So if we had to send the wrong item to a customer, we take responsibility of all those fees. So the picking fees that we had charged our customer, the delivery fee that uAfrica charged us, the collection fee, then the new picking fee, and then the new delivery fee. all of that we take on because we make the mistake. So anything that happens because of us, that happens. If we break something, we take full responsibility. If something goes missing in our warehouse, we take responsibility. In terms of the courier delivery and that, most of the service providers offer insurance. That is something extra you need to select. So if something happens in transit, you can claim back on your parcels. If we do self-deliveries, we've got insurance on our vehicles. So if something happens, then you can claim through us. But yeah, we take responsibility if something happens. So if that's the gentleman's question or the lady's question.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what we covered it.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, cool. Next question is a really good one. What advice do you have for a multi-vendor marketplace wanting to focus on vintage furniture delivery that is looking for an automated delivery partner?
Sure.
It's a good one. Let me know if you want me to read it again, because there's a lot of information in that one.
I'm going to hand that one to you.
You can read it again. Just
Cool.
tell me again. Yeah.
So what advice do you have for a multi-vendor marketplace who wants to focus on vintage furniture delivery and is looking for an automated delivery partner?
Okay, so I definitely think uAfrica is your partner. The thing is with multi-vendor and like a drop shipping type of thing, and that is, it's all depending if stock is sitting in our warehouse and that. So if it's a multi-vendor vendor, if the stock is sitting in our warehouse, it's easy for us to do the distribution and the fulfillment of the orders. But if we've been approached by a lot of multi-vendor type of sellers that are starting similar to a Takealot platform, but they don't keep the stock, they pick up from their supply. The problem there is that multiple collection fee. So going to collect that parcel at your supplier, bringing it back to the warehouse, then delivering it to the customer. And that. So that is one of the issues in terms of the challenges in terms of drop shipping and that. And then also with furniture, it's the size that becomes an issue as well, and the destination of where that parcel is going. If the furniture is flat pack, it's a different story in it. So I've got a customer that has flat pack furniture. He does really well on that. His fees aren't that bad. But as soon as you start getting large items, it becomes quite a problem in terms of outlining areas, and that's to do the delivery service in terms of delivering those type of parcels to customers. So it is a bit of a challenge. There is ways around it. I think it's to try find the right partner to partner up with in terms of doing the delivery to your customer. And then, I think most of those challenges will be taken away in that if you find out the right person. But with furniture, like I mentioned, it's the size that can create quite a challenge in it.
Yeah, and it's also maybe not tying yourself down to one specific carrier either. You know, look for a multi-carrier, option. Like what uAfrica offer. You have the ability to now, select from different couriers. So let's use an example that a vendor is in Polokwane, and they've now sold something to someone in Johannesburg, so maybe the Dawn Wing is very good in Polokwane, so and the prices are reasonable, so then you have that option to quickly select from one of those carriers. But then you're sitting with a situation where Dawn Wing then don't deliver to that area. You have the option now to quickly change your courier and then get it at a cheaper rate. So you're not locked into one account. You only have one carrier. Sorry, it's R1 million to deliver this parcel. You can be like, okay, don't worry, let me check. It's cheaper with these guys.
Yeah, and I think what the Jen can do, what's nice about uAfrica is that live quoting option. So if you've got a WooCommerce website or a Shopify website, you can plug into the uAfrica platform and offer your customer that live pricing in it. And then they can select, put in their address, and then they can see how much it's going to cost to deliver that sleeper couch or whatever they're selling in it. And then they can decide, okay, cool, I'd rather go with Dawn Wing. He might be 200 Rand cheaper in that, or you prefer to go with Courier Guy because you had a bad experience with Dawn Wing the last time. So then the customer's got the power to choose at the end of that who you prefer to deliver, and then you can also see what the price is going to cost to deliver that massive couch or that bed that he ordered or something.
Yeah. I'm also quickly going to jump in and answer Isaac. I think, yes, Isaac sent it through. So Vintage furniture. I don't know if you by that you also mean antiques, which will also change the game a little bit, because if you are transporting antiques, it could get very, very interesting. You might need to go with a very specialized courier. So, yes, antiques as well. So, Isaac, what you can do is you're welcome to send me an email on marketing@uAfrica.com with your products or your website or whatever, and I'll even CC in Cyle and Alex, and we can see if we can give you some advice from somebody who's been there and somebody who's seen this happen. So, yeah, shoot me an email.
Great question, by the way, Isaac.
Yeah,
it's a good question. Crystal, I see there's one more question here. Do you want to take that one?
Our last one for the evening is on Google and social media marketing. Do you require minimum hours to be used? And what are your basic parameters for making use of this part of your service?
Okay, so no, I don't have minimum hours. So how we work a bit different to normal marketing agencies where they manage your spend, or they manage to spend and charge you a spend. So what we do is we'll manage the customer's account. So we'll go and manage the account. The customer will pay Google themselves. It comes off their credit card. They just give us rights to their account. We'll go into their account and manage it. So we'll see how the account is running. We'll do some tests and that and see what we can do to better the ads. If we see that the ad campaign wasn't set up correctly, we would then suggest to recreate and the ad campaigns and the ads. What I do as well, and that's we do keyword research as well in the industry, so I can do research on what the products that the customer's selling. We can also check what competitors, so if the customer's got a list of websites of his competitors, I can take that website and see exactly what that opposition company is advertising with which keywords. So I can advise the customer on what to do. So in terms of Google, it's just specifically on what the customer is looking for. But we can assist them with setting up the account, creating ads, creating the campaigns, managing the accounts. It's just depending on what specifically they're looking for. The packages differ per customer, so not every customer pays the same. It's just depending on what their needs are and how many campaigns and ads they are running that we need to manage.
Incredible.
And optimizing Google is, and I see we posted another question there. That is something that we do as well. The SEO, optimizing the website. We can go into the website and optimize it, change, add keywords, and all of those type of things in it.
Is there an email address that we can send to everybody?
You can email info@parcelit.co.za, and they all come directly to me as well. And that's, I'll definitely get the email if it comes through, and I'll jump on it. I'll get one of my sales teams to quote in it.
Thank you.
Incredible. I'm sure they can go onto your website and find quite a bit of information there as well for any other questions. Otherwise, definitely get in touch with you guys at the email address provided. And but that's awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. We really, really appreciated it all and all the great information that we've passed on to merchants today.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time as well.
No, thank you very much, guys. It's been an honor and a privilege to be working with you guys and to be here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys have to come and visit us at our new offices sometime. And when Crystal's here, we'll definitely do something again. But come visit us at our new offices. Come have a beer with us on a Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys also need to come and visit us and come see our facilities.
Yeah, the new facility. Come see how everything looks like. It's quite a big change from where we were last year. It's quite amazing to see the change from where we were to now, and the infrastructure that we have now to offer our clients. It's a lot more than what we had before.
Can't wait. I'm very excited.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Cyle. Thank you, Alex.
Cool.
No problem.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a good evening.
You too.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.